Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be solving an issue with our lovely ISF. Cars like this are a bit awkward to jack up, especially the F, which is pretty low to begin with. The jacking points underneath are a bit marginal, and I'm going to jack the car up using the scissor jacks provided and show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are under the car, and you can see the standard jack has just got a little slot in it, and it fits on the seam in the bodywork. Well, obviously if you've got a normal jack, this is pretty pants, because there's nothing really to put the pad against other than this seam, which then gets bent and damaged and eventually might even break off. I think this is a pretty rubbish design personally, and a way I've found that we might be able to get around that is to use these. This is what they call a jack block, and the idea is that the frame of the car goes in that slot, and then there are two Allen bolts to fasten it in place, and that will give you then a nice flat, or at least more stable platform to put your jack on. So that will go on here and be tightened on and be a proper jacking point. So I'm going to fit this one, and then we'll see what they look like. Okay, so here's the first one. You can see that the frame seam goes through the slot in the block, and you literally just tighten these onto the frame, and that becomes your jacking point. Now on the outside of these cars, if I can show you, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little arrow. Yeah, you can just see it because it's difficult because this car's white. There's a little arrow front and back on each side to show you where the jacking point is, and I've lined up my jack pad with that, so that if anybody other than me ever has to jack this up, they've got an indicator of where it is. So let the car back down and we'll do the front one. Okay, we're at the front now. I've actually put the jack a bit further forward than the suggested jacking point, which is obviously here where the arrow is, and this is exactly why I think these are needed. If you feel this seam, it's nice and straight at the front, and then here where garages and dealers have been jacking it up, this is quite bent towards me, so I'm going to straighten this out. I'm going to get the pliers on it and straighten it out, and then put the jacking point on. So I'm going to grab hold of this, try and bend it as straight as I can. I'll put the jacking point on and then carry on filming. Well, as you can probably see, this side took a lot more finagling because we've got the normal jack there, and I've had to use another jack out of one of my other cars to get this one in place. This little fiberglass piece here is just blocking you getting it on the straightest bit I could find, because this back bit here is mangled to buggery and I can't get it on there without the block being at a funny angle. And I've tried hitting it with a piece of wood and a hammer to try and straighten it out. It's so strong I can't really move it, and I don't really want to go to the hassle of warming it up and getting the car up off the ground, which I can't really easily do anyway. So this is a nice straight part here, and I've got that first nut in. I'm going to release this jack now, this one, and then do up the second Allen grub screw, and then we'll go around the other side of the car and do the other two. Okay, so here we are at the rear passenger side. Here's our little arrow for the jacking point. Here we go. This is one of the easiest ones we've done yet. So the seam is pretty much undamaged here, and it's just a simple matter of, this is now on pretty solid, just a simple matter of tightening up the Allen bolts, the little grub screws to hold it in place. So one more to go at the front. Let's hope that's in reasonable nick. Okay, so here's the last one at the front. The main problem at the front is access because of this like fiberglass piece, trim piece that comes around the bottom of the car. I've got this one up tight to the frame rail anyway, so it's not perfectly at 90, but it's good enough to jack up on, which is way better than jacking up on this piece of metal. Okay, so that's all for jacking points fitted. These are relatively easy to do, as you can see. I'll leave a link in the descriptor to show you where you can get these from. These come from America, but if you've got an Amazon account, you can get them delivered straight to your address in Britain, no problem at all. They just take slightly longer to come than normal. And we'll be using these in the next video, where we're going to change these bad boys, these huge discs, 6-piston Brembo brakes on this monster. These have done 30-odd thousand miles, and they're about ready to be changed. They've got quite a lip on them at the front, and I'll be showing you how we can change those. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and all that other good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.